Good afternoon. This is Kevin Barton. It is January 8th, and I'm continuing my E-mini analysis. What a pretty crazy couple days here in the market. If you guys recall from the last couple days, I was looking at from Elliott wave standpoints. And I do want to say that I am not promoting Elliott Wave in any means. It's kind of just a guideline. I think it's kind of fun. Um, doesn't necessarily help me trade or enter trades, but it does give me a roadmap to hang my hat on a little bit. But just for uh, reference, I use all kinds of technical analysts. Uh, Basically everything that I find useful, anything and everything. Um, but I do think this is making an Elliott wave pattern. And since it's there, I'm going to use it. As I mentioned, we got wave one, two, three is the biggest wave. And now I mentioned a couple days ago, we are creating a fourth wave. And I originally thought it was a triangle, and I did kind of mess up because I remember from studying somewhere or heard somewhere that a triangle, you can't have five waves to technically be a triangle in any of the legs. And as I marked here, the first leg down, we have five legs down. And I kind of labeled them here. One, two, three, four, five. Since it has five legs, that I believe technically already gives a heads up that it might not be a triangle. But what I did label it as was the first big A, which is the complete first leg right here of the correction, which is A, is a flat pattern. So we got five waves down, five waves up, and then three waves down. That completes the first leg of A. So that's a 5-5-3 pattern. And then the connecting B leg is also a 5-3-5 flat pattern, as I mentioned here. So it's flat, flat, zigzag. And then the final leg, which I was becoming suspicious last night after hours when it was started just jamming through this support area where a triangle likes to stop and halt. It was going through that. Interesting enough, hindsight and figuring out why it was moving down so strong, I guess headlines of Iran bombing Iraqi military bases was occurring. The headlines were coming across the tape at that time, and I should have figured something was going on. It was really a heavy, unusual selling. So again, the connecting B, the middle flat pattern, we got five little legs here. I'm not going to count them. Then we got three, and then we got another five in here. If you go to a lower time frame, there's probably five. I mean, we could really, if we really hone in, we could call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 truncated, maybe fifth, three pushes up, 1, 2, 3, little wedge there. And then we got the zigzag, which is a 5-3-5 pattern, which is we got five legs down, three up, and then five down. I know you can't see the five legs down here, but if we hone in on and I counted these legs as they were occurring, which was pretty interesting. If I traded it, it would have been a big money maker. But it was after hours, and I don't trade after hours. It was going down heavy, and I wasn't really prepared to really put money on there. And this is just analyst. Future videos I'll show when to make a trade, or I'll trade it for my viewers. So if we look here, this is the final C leg of that zigzag I mentioned. And as you can see, if you break it down, this is a 15-minute chart. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that might be the final leg of that correction, that zigzag, that final C pattern, which I just got done showing, which is right here on the 120 minute chart. So if that's true, and and we're starting to go up, we're starting to create our first leg of our final fifth leg, our final push up, which I have some targets up here. But where are we on the count of this move up? Well, let's go down and break it down. And maybe we are on 1, 2, 3, because 3 is supposed to be the longest. And then we're going to come down here, make a fourth, and then a final push up for a leg 1, maybe a leg 1, and then we're going to look for topping action up here near 5. This 1, 2. This 1, 2, I don't like the 2 here. 2 is usually a deep pullback, is usually the deepest pullback of any leg. And see how it sets up here real high. It's kind of awkward 2, but I did label it 2 because this one is the longest one. 3. So, and if you count these legs here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then and this is where you get. This is where Elliott wave is where you can't blindly trade Elliott wave because there's just it gets kind of clustered, kind of confusing. Sometimes we need more time. So it's arguably maybe if we go down to a lower time frame here, we might count out better 5 legs. I didn't really do that, but and as I mentioned, so this is also called a spike and a channel pattern. When the channel's done, it usually comes down into a previous channel area. So we got another spike in channel, and we're stopping. We come back down in the channel. So what are we looking for? I'm looking for a pullback to create some kind of 4. And 4s, as we know, usually like to stop around the 38% retracement or the 50% retracement, and then get a bounce from there. And then after that bounce, leg 5 usually is the distance of a leg 1. So what I did here, see that square? I basically simply used this leg and I just put it over here. Why did I start it here? Because fourth waves usually like to retrace to the previous fourth leg of the third leg, which is right here. And this is right around the 38% retracement of this leg. So if I put my Fibonacci retracement areas, as you can see, this is 38% line. That's usually where wave 4s like to stop and bottom out before they progress up to wave 5. And as I mentioned, it is still above wave 1. So the rules of Elliott wave, if it's above wave 1, not touching wave 1, it can be considered a wave 4. And we're looking for another push up near, it looks like 3,290 area, maybe for the first leg up of a final push. And then after we hit these targets, we should be getting a deeper pullback, followed by the biggest leg of the fifth leg of a final of the final fifth wave up. So anyhow, that's what I'm expecting right now. And if we look at the close here, it could already be beginning to start constructing a first A leg. So we could go A, and then B, and then C down here. Okay, so we could be getting a little correction here. And stay tuned. If tomorrow gaps up here, obviously something's might be up with that, or we're not done completing the third leg, but stay tuned. It remains to be seen. Just to show you a measured move, maybe we already have one developing here. If I go this leg here and we go here, we're already beginning to move down. 3,245 for the first leg down, and then maybe we go up, retrace, and then we do a bigger measured move. So let's say this first leg, then it goes up about 50%, and then boom, there's 100%. If that makes sense, I could clarify that. 3,337. I'm already projecting a pullback area. 3,337 is where I might be looking to buy. We need more pieces. We need more pieces to the puzzle. Everyone have a good day. Please email me, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and have a good day.